I used to think that losing money in day trading meant that you didn't understand enough stuff. Like, if you just learned more and then you studied more and then you watched more content, like videos on YouTube, or you read more books about trading, like eventually everything would make sense and it would just like click and you'd stop making mistakes. That's how I thought it was. But the more time I spent with money, with financial literacy, with trading, with debt, with saving, with just financial IQ in general, the more I started to notice something that was really uncomfortable, like knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different skills, like two completely opposite of the spectrum skills. And if knowledge was enough, then most people would already be winning, because majority of people that want to accomplish something already know how to accomplish it, but they just don't do it. And that was the gap that I didn't really understand, because genuinely think about it. Most people already know the basics to most things in life. If you think about wanting to have more money, spend less than you make, don't take big risks, be consistent, don't like if it comes to trading, like don't panic sell, don't revenge trade, don't impulse buy anything, buy any stocks or buy any options, contracts, whatever. But none of that is what actually makes you do it. That's just information, and it's not even secret information. Yet people still lose money. They stay in debt. They keep the same financial mistakes forever, for years. You and I both know people who have been stuck in the same financial cycle for years. So the question becomes, if we already know what's the right thing to do and the right ways to not mess up our lives, then why doesn't knowing the right thing to do fix anything? And that is where everything started to fall apart for me, genuinely. Because when you see that gap, you don't get to just acknowledge that that's a gap. Like, knowing something and doing something are different. You actually have to take an action to change it. Because especially in day trading, I knew the rules. Like, you can know risk management like the back of your hand. You can know position sizing. You can know discipline. You can know patience. You can know every single piece of psychology that you're supposed to know. And then I could literally explain out loud the correct decision to do while I'm looking at a chart, and then still do the opposite of the right thing in real time. Not for fake. I mean, literally in real time, still not do it. I would watch myself break my own rules while fully being aware of breaking that rule, either right before or right during, or like literally like that's where I realized it's not a knowledge problem at all. What you know is only a problem if you don't know the right thing. But that's not true for most people. Most people know the right thing to do. So it's not a lack of knowledge. Money decisions literally don't happen in calm moments for the most part. Decisions happen in emotional moments. And that's the part I was missing. Because when you think about stress, and then you think about other negative emotions like fear, but you might also have good things like excitement or pressure to do good or ambition, or maybe you even have something else like ego or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. When you have that, the emotions literally don't care what you learned about your strategy last week. They don't care what you think you should be doing. They don't care. So the real problem is not that people don't know what to do. Someone can know, hey, if I pay towards my debt, eventually the debt will go down. People will know that and still not pay towards it. So the real problem is not information. It's that information does not override your emotion. in the moment. And we make all our decisions mostly in stressful moments. And once I saw that, like once I understood that specifically, that changed almost everything for me. Because what happened is I stopped like asking myself questions that don't lead to good answers. I started to ask real questions. Like I stopped asking, oh, does my trading strategy work? And I started to ask myself questions like, why do humans break their own rules and risk their money when they're not supposed to? Because money isn't just the math of the trading or of the spending or the debt or whatever. It's about behavior. And honestly, I'm still figuring it out in real time. So if you've like ever had like a part of you ever who knew better but still messed up financially in your trading or in spending, debt, etc., you're not crazy. You're just a human. And this channel is basically me documenting what actually changes behavior around money. We all know the right things to do, but only some of us have gone deep enough to where we can actually figure out how to connect those two things in that gap. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can stick around for my channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss another video from me.